Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back. I'm Barry. Today's episode, I don't know, it feels simple, but also a little real. Like something we all deal with, but don't always talk about. So before we go deep, let me ask you something small. Imagine this. It's Friday. You just got paid. Your phone buzzes. Salary credited. You open your banking app. You see the number. And for a second you feel, okay, nice. Everything is fine.
Yeah, that moment feels really good. Like a small relief. You breathe a little easier.
Exactly. But then, after that one moment, things start changing. Your brain doesn't stay calm. It starts moving. You think, okay, maybe I should save this month. Maybe I should be serious this time. And then at the same time, another thought comes. Like, maybe I should just check something online. Just checking, not buying.
Just checking is very dangerous because it never stays just checking.
Never. It always becomes something else. You open Amazon or some shopping app, and suddenly you are scrolling. Then you think, okay, this is not expensive. This is fine. I worked hard this week. I can take something small.
And then food comes in. Always food. Like, I deserve something nice today. And suddenly you are on DoorDash or Uber Eats, looking at things you were not even thinking about 5 minutes ago.
Yes, and it feels so normal in that moment. Like you're not doing anything wrong. You're just enjoying a little. And then another thought comes. Maybe I should check flights, or maybe a short trip, just to see prices.
Just to see prices is another trap, because now your mind is already traveling, even if your money is not ready.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, all of this happens in like 10 minutes. 10 minutes after getting paid, you go from, I will save, to, let me enjoy a little, to, maybe I need this, to, okay, this is not that bad.
And in between all that, bills are just quietly waiting. Rent, credit card, subscriptions, everything just sitting there like, we are here too.
Exactly. They don't shout, but they are there. And you know it. But still, in that moment, your focus is somewhere else. It's like two different versions of you are talking. One is calm, saying, save your money, be smart. And the other one is like, relax, you worked hard, you deserve something.
And both sound right. That's the confusing part. It's not like one voice is wrong. Both feel correct in their own way.
Yeah, that's why it's not easy. If it was simple, everyone would just save or just spend. But it's never that clean. It's always mixed. A little logic, a little emotion, a little stress, a little reward feeling.
And also, I think sometimes it's not even about the money. It's about how you feel. Like after a long week, you just want something that makes you feel better, even if it's small.
Yeah, that's true. It's not always about buying a thing. Sometimes it's just about that moment, that small feeling, like, okay, I did something for myself.
And that's why people say things like, it's just one time, or it's not a big deal. Because in that moment, it really feels small.
Yeah, but when you look back later, it doesn't always stay small.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think this is something we all experience. Different people, different lives. But this moment, payday moment, almost everyone knows it.
Yeah, and maybe while listening, some people are already smiling like, yeah, this is me.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because honestly, even we do this. We talk about it, but we also feel it.
Of course, we are not outside this. We are inside this.
So maybe the real question is not just, what do you do after you get paid? Maybe the real question is, what are you trying to choose in that moment?
Yeah, like what matters more to you right now?
Exactly. Because at the end, it slowly becomes one simple question, but not so simple also.
Yeah,
Save money or enjoy life?
and I think that question is where things start getting interesting.
When we say this question, save money or enjoy life, it looks simple from outside. Like, just choose one side. But inside, it never feels that clean. Because money is not only numbers, it carries feelings with it. Sometimes it feels like safety, sometimes like reward, sometimes even like control.
Yes. Like when you see money in your account, you feel a little calm. You feel like, okay, I can handle things. But at the same time, when you work hard all week, you also feel like you should enjoy something, like you earned this moment.
And that is where things start getting mixed. One part of you wants to be careful. It says, save it, don't waste it, think about future. And the other part says, relax, life is happening now, enjoy a little.
And both voices sound right. That's the confusing part. It's not like one is wrong. Saving makes sense. But enjoying also makes sense.
Exactly. And then something else comes in, feeling. Not logic, feeling. Like after a long day, you are tired, maybe a little stressed, maybe something didn't go well. In that moment, you don't want to think too much. You just want something that feels good.
Yes. And sometimes you are not even buying a thing. You are buying a feeling, like comfort or relief, or just a small moment where you feel okay.
That is true. Like you order food, not because you need it, but because you don't want to cook. You buy something online, not because you planned it, but because it makes you feel better for a few minutes.
And those few minutes feel real. Like you forget stress for a little time. You feel light. You feel like, okay, life is not that bad.
But then later, something changes. You look again, maybe at your balance, or maybe at your cart history, and you think, why did I do that?
Yes, that small regret comes. And it feels strange, because few hours ago, it felt like the right thing.
And sometimes it goes the other way also. You don't spend anything. You stop yourself. You say, no, I will save. I will be strong. And then later, you feel like, am I even enjoying my life?
That is so true. That empty feeling. Like you are just waiting. Always waiting. Waiting for later. Waiting for some future moment. And today feels a little dry.
So no matter what you do, there is always something. If you spend, there is guilt. If you don't spend, there is a little regret.
Yes, it feels like you cannot win sometimes.
And maybe that is why this is not really a money problem. It feels more like a human problem, a life problem, because it is connected to how we feel, how tired we are, how stressed we are.
Yes, and also how alone we feel sometimes. Like people don't talk about this, but spending can also come from loneliness. You just want something to fill that space.
That is deep, but true. And I think in today's life, especially, people are more tired than before. Work is long, mind is always busy, phone is always there. You never fully rest.
And when your mind is tired, you don't make strong decisions. You make easy decisions, fast decisions.
Yes, smart thinking becomes slow, and feeling becomes fast.
And feeling usually says, take it now. Enjoy now.
And that is where things get difficult. Because even if you know what is right, in that moment, knowing is not enough.
Yes, knowledge is there, but control is low.
Exactly. And I think many people listening know this feeling very well. Like you tell yourself, next time I will do better. But then same thing happens again.
Yes, same pattern. Different day, same result.
And that can feel a little frustrating. Like, why is this so hard when it looks so simple?
Yes, like you are not a child. You understand things, but still, it keeps happening.
So maybe the real question is not, what is right or wrong? Maybe the real question is, why do we keep doing this, even when we know better?
Yeah, that is the real question.
And I think, to understand that, we have to look a little deeper, at our habits and small daily patterns. When we start looking at our habits, things become a little clear. Not fully clear, but at least we see a pattern. It usually starts very small, not a big decision, just a small moment. Like you open your phone, you are just scrolling, nothing serious, and then suddenly you see something, a product, an offer, something interesting.
Yes, and in that moment, it feels very quick. You don't plan it. You don't sit and think. It just happens. You see it, you like it, and your finger is already moving.
That is what people call an impulse purchase. It means you buy something suddenly, without planning, just because the feeling is strong in that moment.
And the feeling feels real, like it's not fake. You actually feel like, yes, I want this. This will make things better.
But the truth is, that feeling doesn't stay long. It comes fast, and it also goes fast. But the money, that is already gone.
Yes. And sometimes you don't even remember why you bought it. After a few days, you look at it and think, did I really need this?
That happens a lot. And it is not because people are careless. It is because the moment is strong, especially when you are tired, or bored, or not feeling good.
Nights are the worst for this. Late night, lights off, phone in hand, and you are just scrolling. Your mind is not strong at that time.
True, late night decisions are very different from morning decisions. At night, control is low and feelings are high.
And then there is another thing. Waiting. Waiting is hard. Like when you want something and you tell yourself, not now, later.
That is called delayed gratification. It means you say no to something now so you can get something better later.
It sounds simple, but it is not easy. Because now always feels stronger than later.
Yes, future feels far. Present feels real. So your mind says, take it now. We will think later.
And then later comes, and you are like, why did I not wait?
And after that, another interesting thing happens. You try to explain your decision. You try to make it look smart.
Yes, you try to justify the expense. You already bought it. Now you are finding reasons.
Like, this is not a waste. This is useful. I will use it every day. This will help me.
Or, this is not shopping. This is self-care. I needed this for my mental health.
That one is very popular. Everything becomes mental health after buying.
True. And sometimes it's funny, but also real, because people are not lying. They are just trying to feel okay about the decision.
Yes, because nobody wants to feel like they made a mistake. So the brain creates a story, a better story.
And that story makes you feel calm for some time.
But if you look deeper, you see a pattern. First feeling, then action, then story.
Feeling says buy, action happens, then story says it was a good decision.
And this cycle keeps repeating. Different product, same pattern.
And this is not about being smart or not. Even smart people do this.
Because this is not only about thinking, this is also about energy. When you are tired, your brain doesn't want to fight. It wants easy choices.
Yes, easy choices feel safe in that moment.
And that is why sometimes, even when you know what is better, you still choose what is easier.
And then you promise yourself, next time I will do better.
But next time comes, and same thing happens again.
That is why it feels like a loop, like you are going in a circle.
And slowly, it becomes normal. You don't even notice it anymore.
Yes, small things become habits, and habits become life.
And that is where the real problem is. Not in one purchase, but in the pattern.
Because one small thing doesn't hurt, but many small things together become something big.
And then one day, you look at your money and you feel confused. Like, where did it go?
Yes, nothing big, but still, everything is gone.
And that moment feels heavy.
It really does.
But at the same time, we also need to understand something else. Saving is not always easy either.
Yes, saving also has its own struggle.
And maybe we should look at that side also, a little more clearly. Saving looks simple from outside, but when you actually try, it feels different. You tell yourself, this time I will save properly. No extra spending, no useless things. For a few days it feels good. You feel in control, like you are doing something right. But slowly, it starts feeling tight, like you are saying no to everything. No to eating out, no to small treats, no to anything fun. Life becomes a little quiet, a little dry.
That dryness is real. People don't talk about it much, but it's there. When you keep stopping yourself again and again, it starts feeling like you are missing out. You see others going out, enjoying, doing small things, and you are just holding back. It feels like you are always waiting, waiting for later, waiting for a better time, waiting for some future version of life where everything will be perfect.
And that later keeps moving. 1 month becomes 2 months, then more. You save a little more, then a little more, but you don't really feel happy in the present. You feel safe maybe, but not fully alive. It's like you are protecting your future, but forgetting your present.
And then something happens after some time. That pressure builds. You feel like you have been too strict with yourself. You start thinking, I deserve something now. I worked hard. I controlled so much. Now I want to enjoy. And suddenly, all that control breaks in one moment.
Exactly. One weekend, everything changes. You spend more than usual, maybe more than planned. You order food, you buy things, you go out, and in that moment it feels good, like freedom, like you finally relaxed.
But after that, the same cycle comes back. You look at your money and feel bad again. You say, I will not do this again. I will be strict again. And slowly, the same loop starts. Control, then break, then regret.
So the problem is not saving or spending. The problem is the extreme. Too much control on one side, too much reaction on the other side. There is no balance in between.
Balance sounds simple, but it is not easy. Because life is not always stable. Some months are heavy, some days are stressful, some weeks feel too long. In those moments, people don't think about balance, they just react.
And saving is not always fear. Sometimes saving is wisdom. It is not about saying no to everything. It is about giving yourself some safety. Like when something unexpected happens, you don't panic.
That feeling is very important. That small peace in your mind, knowing that you can handle things, that you are not one problem away from stress. That is what a financial cushion gives you.
Financial cushion means having some extra money kept aside, not for fun, not for spending, but for life situations, like sudden bills, repairs, health issues, things that don't ask before coming.
And when you have that, your thinking changes. You don't feel scared all the time. You don't feel pressure in every small decision. You feel a little free, in a different way.
And there is another idea people talk about: live within your means. It sounds strict, but it is actually simple. It means your life should match what you can afford, not what you see online, not what others are doing, just your real situation.
Social media makes this harder. You see people traveling, eating out, buying things, and it feels normal. But you don't see their full story. You don't see their stress, their bills, their reality.
And then you compare your life with that and feel behind. Even when you are doing okay, it still feels like not enough.
So saving is not about being boring. It is about being aware. About knowing your limits and respecting them.
But at the same time, enjoying is also important, because life is not only about control. Some spending is not waste. Some spending gives meaning, gives memories.
Like a trip, a small dinner, time with people, those things stay longer than products. They don't just disappear.
And that is where another idea comes, spending with choice. Not random spending, but meaningful spending.
Yes, like choosing where your money goes, not letting your mood decide everything.
And maybe that is the real balance. Not stopping everything, not doing everything, but choosing slowly.
But also, we need to accept something important. Not everyone is in the same place.
That is true.
For some people, this is not about balance. It is about survival, about just managing basic needs.
And in that situation, even small saving matters. Even small joy matters.
Yes, a small treat can feel big. A small saving can feel strong.
So this is not about judging anyone. It is about understanding your own life.
And maybe, from there, we can start finding a better way.
When we talk about balance, it sounds nice, but real life is not always that simple. Some people are not choosing between saving and enjoying. They are just trying to handle basic things. Rent, food, bills, everything takes most of the money. At the end of the month, almost nothing is left. In that situation, even a small extra expense feels heavy.
That is very true. Many people are just trying to make ends meet. That means they have just enough money for basic needs, nothing extra. So when we say save more or enjoy more, it feels different for them. For them, saving even a little is already a big step. And enjoying life might mean something very small, like one good meal after a long week.
And that should be respected, not judged, because everyone's situation is different. Some people have space to choose. Some people are still building that space. So the goal is not to copy someone else. The goal is to understand your own life first.
Once you understand your situation, then small changes can start helping. Not big changes, small ones. Because big rules don't last long. But small awareness, that stays.
One simple thing that helps a lot is pause. Before you spend, just pause for a few seconds. Not a long time, just a small break. That small gap can change your decision.
In that pause, ask yourself a simple question. Why do I want this? Not the smart answer, the real answer. Is it because I need it, or because I feel something right now?
That question shows a lot. Sometimes you realize it's not about the thing, it's about the feeling. And once you see that, the decision becomes a little clearer.
Then you can think about pros and cons. That means looking at the good side and the bad side. Like, if I buy this, what will improve? And what will become harder this month?
For example, buying something might feel good today, but it can make next week stressful. So you are choosing between short peace and longer pressure.
And this is where another idea helps. Opportunity cost. It means when you say yes to one thing, you are also saying no to something else.
Like if you spend money on random shopping today, maybe you cannot travel later. Or maybe you cannot join a course or save for something important.
So the real question becomes, what am I losing when I choose this?
And that question is powerful. It makes you think beyond the moment. It connects your present decision with your future.
But this does not mean you stop everything. It just means you choose more clearly. You don't let your mood control every decision.
And small decisions matter more than big ones. People think big expenses are the problem, but many times it is small daily things.
Like coffee every day, or small online orders, or subscriptions you don't even notice.
One coffee feels nothing, but every day it becomes something. Not huge, but enough to change your month.
And the problem is not the coffee. It is the pattern. If it fits your life, it is fine. But if it is just a habit, then it needs attention.
Same with phones. Buying a new phone when your old one is working, sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes it is just a mood.
So asking yourself, is this a need or just a feeling, helps a lot.
Travel is another example. Spending on travel can be beautiful. It gives memories. But if it creates stress after, then it loses that beauty.
Yes, memories should not turn into pressure later.
So the idea is not to stop enjoying. The idea is to enjoy without hurting your future.
And not to save so much that you forget to live.
Balance is not perfect control. It is just small awareness, again and again.
And that awareness slowly changes your habits. Not in one day, but over time.
And once your habits change, your stress also changes.
You start feeling more stable and still able to enjoy small things.
So maybe the answer is not strict rules.
It is understanding and small choices.
And that can make a big difference, slowly.
Very slowly, but very real.
So after talking about all this, something feels different inside. Not like a big answer, but like a small understanding. This is not really about choosing one side and fixing everything. It's not like, if you save money, life becomes perfect, or if you enjoy more, life becomes happy. It's more quiet than that, more personal. It's about how you live every day, small choices, small moments, things no one else even sees.
That's true. And I think the most important part is honesty. Not with people, but with yourself. Because deep down, most of the time, you already know what you are doing. You know when you are just spending because you feel low, and you also know when you are being too strict with yourself. But we don't always accept it. We hide it behind reasons like, it's fine, or I deserve this, or sometimes even, I'll fix it later.
And honestly, that's human. Everyone does that. No one is perfect with money. Some people save too much and forget to enjoy. Some people spend too much and feel pressure later. And most people are just somewhere in the middle, trying to figure things out slowly.
And that middle place is not fixed. It keeps changing. Some months you feel like you need to save more. Maybe something is coming up. Maybe life feels uncertain. And some days, you just need to enjoy something small to feel okay again. Life doesn't stay the same, so your choices also change.
That's why balance is not a strict rule. It's not something you follow perfectly every day. It's more like a feeling, a quiet feeling that you are not scared about your future, and also not empty in your present. Both things matter.
Because if you only focus on saving, you might feel safe, but slowly, life can start feeling like waiting. Waiting for later, waiting for one day, and that day never feels close. And if you only focus on enjoying, it feels good for a moment, but later, stress comes back, sometimes even stronger.
So both sides give something, and both sides take something. That's why it's not about choosing one. It's about understanding both.
And maybe this is something people don't learn from books. They learn it from life, from small mistakes, from regret, from those moments when you look back and think, I could have done that better.
And that's okay. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to control everything. You just need to be a little more aware than before. Even a small pause, even one better decision, it starts changing things.
Slowly, your habits change. Your thinking changes. And then, your stress also changes. You feel a little lighter, a little more in control, but not in a strict way, in a calm way.
And that calm feeling is very valuable. It's not loud, it's not exciting, but it stays longer. It feels stable.
So maybe the real answer to this question, save money or enjoy life, is not about one side winning. It's about learning how to protect your future without losing your present, and learning how to enjoy your present without hurting your future.
That feels more real, more possible.
It really does.
And if you are listening right now, just take a small moment and think about your own life. Not in a heavy way, just simple. Are you someone who saves more or spends more, or trying to find balance?
And also, what is one thing you never regret spending money on? For some people, it's time with family. For some, travel. For some, something very small but meaningful.
That answer can tell you a lot about what really matters to you.
And maybe it can help you make better choices, slowly, step by step.
Because at the end, it's your life, your money, your choices.
No perfect formula, just better understanding.
And that is enough.
More than enough.
Take care of your money.
And take care of your mind.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye!